Not going to feel like the beginning of those cooler temperatures, especially if you are in the red hot center. But very different story if you're in the southeast. With Victoria seeing yesterday 23 degrees as the high in Melbourne. It's certainly autumn already in Melbourne and will be as we head into the next several days. We're going to be feeling temperatures in Melbourne today, 26 degrees as the high. Temperature is going to be remaining cool into the weekend. But very different story if you are in, again, the red hot center, actually looking at the potential for record-breaking temperatures. What we're going to be feeling today, if you're in Alice Springs, 42 degrees. If you are in Canberra, 33, Sydney, 32. So way above seasonal averages, and a low-grade heat wave warning is in place. Again, looking at the chance for a severe heat wave for the areas in white, extreme heat wave for the areas in red. Now, as those temperatures continue to climb, we could be seeing record-breaking temperatures. If you were in Alice Springs on Saturday, potential to break the March record set in 2019, seeing temperatures 43 degrees. So very warm afternoon and very warm for the beginning of autumn. We are going to be seeing these abnormally warm temperatures sticking around until at least Monday for most of the country, Rhiannon.
All right, that's
really Queensland is going to be what you're seeing behind me. Increased surf and swell, and we actually have a coastal hazards warning that's in place for most of southeast Queensland coastline. We are going to be seeing wind speed really picking up, and we're looking at surf expected to be rough. That's already in place now and will be in place into the weekend. Hazardous surf warning, also looking at the potential for damaging and abnormally high tides, as well as very strong high waves. So this is not the weekend that you want to be out at the beach or swimming, surfing. You need to be very cautious because we are going to be having, again, abnormally high tides and very strong surf. So use caution if you are heading out this weekend. Don't go in the water. And as for the rainfall, that's also going to be moving in. It's not going to be bringing very high rainfall totals, but certainly going to be seeing increased rainfall, especially between Bundaberg and the Sunshine Coast. That will start Sunday and continue into Monday as the system tracks further into the Queensland coastline. We're seeing a few areas in red showing us those high rainfall totals. Going to be very isolated, but could see at least a few areas seeing high rainfall totals, where the more widespread rainfall will be rather light, Rhiannon. South Wales. One of them being we're expecting a coastal hazards warning to go into place. Now that would be at the end of the weekend, but it would start by about Sunday, Monday. So strong surf and abnormally high tides. Plus looking at increased rainfall across New South Wales coastline beginning by about Monday. You can see where that moisture is going to be moving onshore, especially for that northeastern corridor between Lismore all the way down to Sydney. We are looking at that moisture moving onshore, and once again, a few isolated areas could see high rainfall totals as the system tracks south, but eventually moves away from the coastline into midweek.
all right.
Seeing them into the weekend. What we're seeing right now on our radar isn't very significant, but we are still seeing a few showers. So go ahead and keep the umbrella on hand. A few showers popping up mainly across Newcastle and Sydney. Overall, going to be very quiet, at least until our lunch hour. That's when you need to grab the umbrella. Looking at the best chance for a few thunderstorms, none severe, popping up mainly across the Newcastle coastline all the way down to Bateman's Bay. We will be seeing that chance this time for the coast. It's different to yesterday where we saw that mainly for the interior regions. So if you're in Sydney's eastern suburbs, you'll need to grab the umbrella for your lunch hour. But by about 5, 6 o'clock, everything should be cleared out. What we're seeing is just the chance for a few thunderstorms to be moving in and popping up, and it is a very low chance. Overall, not going to be seeing much, but go ahead and just keep the umbrella in your car if you can, because we are looking at another round into Sunday. That's when we're seeing the better chance for showers and thunderstorms, first from Lismore down to Port Macquarie, and then additional rainfall from Newcastle all the way down to Bateman's Bay. We will be seeing those showers popping up throughout our Sunday, unfortunately, going to make for a wet end to the weekend and a wet start to autumn. Is that it has weakened, which is great news. It is still a severe Category 3 storm, but has weakened from that earlier Category 4 storm that we were seeing just a few hours earlier. Now, again, this is still a very intense storm. Looking at max wind gusts, 215 kilometers per hour. Very strong storm, but does not look to make landfall. That's the other good news. This system is going to continue to track to the south and does look to make a turn over the weekend, but it will be weakening when it makes that turn. So set to finally make that turn as a Category 2 storm and move much closer to the Queensland coastline as we head into our Sunday. Now, we'll talk about the impacts from that turn and moving closer to the coastline in just a minute. But first, taking a look at the forecast track, which has changed, and this is the good news. With it making that turn, again, moves closer to the coastline, but then looks to continue its track further to the south and will be moving away from the New South Wales coastline. Ultimately, again, very unlikely that the storm makes landfall. But it is still a very strong storm, and it has been very unpredictable. So we are going to continue to closely monitor that and, of course, keep you updated with any watches, warnings, or impacts that we are expecting to go into place.